Hello, you are with me, the voice of ability for persons with disability. United Nations statistics estimate that over 600 million people live with disability globally, and over 400 million people live with disability in Africa. 40% of Africa's population are made up of people living with disability. 10 to 15% of school-age children in Africa live with disability. Ghana's population is over 32 million, and 8% are people living with disability. How does this impact on persons with disability in terms of policy formulation, marriage and family life, education, healthcare, employment, and so on? For those of us in the disability community, discrimination and stigmatization is the root cause of almost every challenge we face. However, success only comes to those who know how to overcome their challenges and not those who know how to avoid challenges. So join me, the voice of ability and for persons with disability, as I navigate my way through the riveting stories, the unbelievable experiences, and the life-transforming journeys of persons with disability on the Helping Hand TV show. Hello and welcome to another exciting and inspiring edition of the Helping Hand TV show, where we seek to throw the spotlight on the abilities of persons with disability. And like I say, you're welcome. Welcome to my world where disability is not inability. A happy new year to all of you. It's a new year and we are expecting new blessings from God. So much of divine favor to carry us through. H4P is 12 years and to God be the glory. We'll talk more about that. And I have an amazing gentleman with me. I won't introduce him yet. I'll go for a quick commercial break. When I come back, you'll see why I say he's amazing. It's a Helping Hand TV show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. And today I want to introduce you to someone with so much ability. Some people call her the greatest friend. Others call her the sweet companion. And others still call her the faithful worker. She is dependable, reliable, and adorable. And she's committed to lending you a helping hand anytime, anywhere. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome DV Cleaners.
DV Cleaners Alata Samina Shower Gels, DV Cleaners Aloe Vera Shower Gels, DV Cleaners Body Lotions, DV Cleaners Hair Shampoos, DV Cleaners Hair Conditioners, DV Cleaners Liquid Detergents, DV Cleaners Hand Wash, DV Cleaners Floor Cleaners, DV Cleaners Toilet Cleaners, DV Cleaners Cake Soaps, and now introducing DV Cleaners Hand Sanitizers. For bulk purchase, call us on +233 278 308 246 or +233 244 467 326. DV Cleaners, one of the top most made in Ghana products. DV Cleaners, proudly Ghanaian.
And so remember that anytime you purchase any of the DV Cleaners range of products, you are lending a helping hand to a person with disability and you are supporting H4P Organization's special advocacy for persons with disability. DV Cleaners!
Nature's finest touch!
Hello, this is the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Life is about success. Success is about achievements. But greatness is about helping others to achieve success. I believe strongly that God gave us two hands so that we can use one hand for ourselves and the other hand to help other people. But Mrs. Christina Ananswa Hackman seemed to have used both of her hands to help everybody else. Christina Hackman had a quality personality that touched many lives and inspired quality in many people. Mrs. Christina Hackman didn't only touch lives with her hands of generosity, but also she touched lives with her heart of magnanimity, intimacy, and leniency. So what sort of person was Mrs. Christina Ananswa Hackman?
Very intelligent, jovial, welcoming anybody who came her way.
She was kind, she was generous, and she was caring.
She felt free sharing whatever she had with people. She was generous with everything she had.
She was always willing to give. She really gave beyond what one would expect.
Baby was a jewel God gave us.
She would call
and wish you a happy birthday, even before you yourself became aware that the day was your birthday. Baby was the one who brought us all together.
Loving, caring,
Always smiling.
she cannot be replaced.
Baby has left a huge legacy.
I'm here to talk to you about the Christina Hackman Impact Leadership Awards, also known as the Chill Awards. The Christina Hackman Impact Leadership Awards, also known as the Chill Awards, is an award scheme by the H4P Organization in honor of my mom, Mrs. Christina Ananswa Hackman, an amazing woman, an incredible woman. The Christina Hackman Impact Leadership Awards recognizes the impact and the efforts made by persons with disability, especially towards national development.
It's the Chill Awards, powered by the H4P Organization.
Chill Award.
When success calls, only the brave truly respond. When greatness beckons, only those truly chosen remain standing tall. Today we celebrate Madame Christina Hackman, a woman whose generosity cut through society like sunshine at midnight, leaving behind a legacy so pure and bright. She is the embodiment of kindness personified, reaching out to all in need with such tenderness so rarefied. Madame Hackman brought dignity to disability, inspiring hope and touching lives with effortless humility.
Chill Award. Chill Award.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back to the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability and for persons with disability. Again, a happy new year to all of you. H4P, happy anniversary, 12 good years of service to humanity, bringing dignity to disability. I have an amazing gentleman with me. His name is Farid Ibrahim Gombila. He is a voice-over artist. He is a poet. He is a professional social worker with the Social Welfare Department at Krowo Municipal Assembly. He holds a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and Philosophy from the University of Ghana. He also holds a Master's in Violence, Conflict and Development from SOAS University of London. I can go on and on and on. He is an amazing young man. That's the best part for me. Farid, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Bishop. It's a pleasure to be here.
First of all, talk to us about your disability. Talk to us about how growing up was like for you.
For me, I was born with my visual impairments.
Oh,
I've had
okay.
it since birth.
Okay.
And in a way, I think it was the best thing that happened to me.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Because I kind of feel like I got the orientation right from the onset on how to, carry myself, how to integrate with society, how to relate with people, knowing what my limits are or what my challenges are with my sight and understanding it completely, and more importantly, accepting it, because a lot of people grow to a certain point and then you are hit by the disability or the challenge, unfortunately, and accepting it becomes very difficult. But at least I had this from the very beginning, and so it was easier for me to assimilate.
Okay.
Yes. So I went through my primary education at the Youngsters, which was a regular school, but it had integrated services. So the Youngsters was an inclusive, was running an inclusive system where persons with visual impairment were also accommodated. And for me, that was a very important stage, because from there I also moved on to the School for the Blind at H4P, which was purely for blind people. And so from my mixture of being at the Youngsters, which was an integrated system, and then going to the purely blind school, for me was
you had both worlds.
Because sometimes the danger is when you are exclusively in the blind school, integrating with a wider community becomes a challenge for some of my colleagues, I've noticed. So beyond that, I went to the Okwapeman Secondary for my secondary education. Then I moved on to the University of Ghana, like you said, to end my political science degree. And then I was fortunate to do my master's in the UK at SOAS University of London.
So let me stop you there and find out, with your educational journey, did you face discrimination?
Sure. I definitely had discrimination, and I always say discrimination is simply because people don't understand. They just don't understand how this individual is able to function. I remember when I first got into secondary school, and Okwapeman School was also an integrated school, but for a lot of young people coming to that school at that teenage age, seeing a blind person in school was probably their first time encountering that. So a lot of them will walk up to you. Some don't even want to walk up to you because they'll tell other people that, hey, these people, if you go and say something, they'll get angry. These people, if you go and do this, so there were so many misconceptions, and because of that, they won't even approach you. They won't offer any help. They'll just alienate you. Leave you to your own devices. In a way, it helps, but then you need someone's support, and then you don't get it. But what I'm always proud of is that when we eventually end up in the same classroom and we begin to outperform a lot of our colleagues, they will bring themselves.
They need your help.
They need a help. So it helps bridge that gap. But you still face discrimination in other forms, It
amazes me because then you have the opportunity to prove that indeed disability is not inability.
Exactly.
And you even outperform those who are sighted.
And
they begin to notice that you are just like them, even better than them.
I mean, in Okwapeman School, I'm always happy to say that for the period that I was there, consistently, the people who topped the various levels, SS1, SS2, SS3, were visually impaired people. And for me, it just goes to show that once we are given the right environment, the right devices, we are able to excel.
So in University of Ghana, I'm aware you were part of a lot of groupings. Talk to me about them. Are you political by nature?
Yes, but not partisan.
All right.
I'm political, not partisan.
So
yes, I mean, at the University of Ghana, just on that point, I was part of the University of Ghana Parliament House, which is a student parliament. So we have affiliations to the national parliament. So we model our activities on the national. So we have a speaker, we have a majority leader, we have a minority leader, but it's not on partisan lines. It's just for purposes of pushing forth our debates on various issues, both student-related issues and national issues. So in my third year, I happened to be the minority leader at the University of Ghana Parliament House. And it was such a, we had inter-university debates with other universities across the country. We did a lot of even IEA organized some debates for us as well. So it was a great learning curve, and we got the opportunity to host some of our members of parliament and other dignitaries at our student level. So it also even gave us a bit of radio experience. So because we're running weekly shows on Radio Universe as well. So it was a wide-ranging experience. I was also part of the University of Ghana Debate Society. I did Toastmasters as well. I was practically doing a lot of extracurricular work. I also did a bit of, and of course, I was doing poetry at the time. I discovered my poetry talents when I was entering university. So that was around the time when I started taking it seriously. So it was exciting, in a way more exciting than lectures.
I hear you. For me, the exciting part for me is the fact that you didn't let your disability hinder you from taking part in virtually everything?
Yeah. For me, it was important, and I'm happy for the kind of friends I've had over the years, because we never felt that there was any barrier.
Okay.
I came into the university, I looked around, okay, where did I want to belong? What kind of groupings did I want to associate myself with? And I went for it. Of course, in the beginning, you might face similar, doubts. People don't know you. People feel like, hey, what's this person doing here? And then you begin to contribute.
Exactly.
So that's what I always tell people.
Exactly.
As for discrimination, regardless of what you do, you would always face discrimination because it's born out of ignorance.
Yeah.
But once you begin to prove yourself, they can't help it.
Yeah.
They would overcome whatever prejudice they have and reach out, and you can make progress from there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I'm with Farid Ibrahim Gombila. He's an amazing person. I told you, you've seen it for yourself, you've heard it for yourself. I'll go for a quick commercial break. When I come back, I'm going to ask my guest an interesting question. He's had the feel of both worlds in so many instances, and we are going to do a bit of some comparison. It's a Helping Hand TV show. H4P is 12 years old. It's a new year. We'll go for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Success is a product of hard and wise work. Is 60-second success with the Bishop. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of 60-second success with the Bishop. Most people are good at planning for the future, so much that they end up neglecting the responsibilities of today. An important thing to note is that the road that leads to the future is constructed through the present. What it means is that if you do today what others are not doing, you will get tomorrow what others won't get. Successful people are those who have their eyes fixed on the future, and yet at the same time they have their feet firmly fixed in today. Successful people know that today is as important as tomorrow, so you don't look too much at tomorrow and neglect the responsibilities of today. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back to the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability and for persons with disability. H4P is 12 years old. To God be the glory. Farid, thank you so much for being with me.
My pleasure once again.
Let me find out from you. You've been in Ghana for your university education, and you've had the opportunity to be in London for your master's. In terms of disability, what can you say about the two different worlds? Are they very different?
Very different. I'm sad to say, but I mean, I must commend my resource persons right from the very beginning, from all the way from the youngsters to School for the Blind, Ukwapeman, and even in the University of Ghana. I mean, especially in the university, I think one great thing that was done for us at the time was to introduce us to the use of computers.
Okay.
So it sort of came like a semi-compulsory rule that you had to transition from using the Braille. Because Braille is good, but Braille limits you, the visually impaired person.
Okay.
But if you're able to adapt to the use of technology, i.e. computers, you can easily type your assignments, your exams, and someone would just look at it and be able to tell what you are doing. But Braille kind of limits you. Now need another person to transcribe, and that creates a big problem. So in the University of Ghana, at least we had that foundation, that support. We had the opportunity to turn some of our convert some of our hard copy text into soft copy for our use, to read with our screen reader softwares. But beyond that, in the UK, I mean, even as I was leaving Ghana for the UK, they arranged a pickup service at the airport for me. This was a disability office.
Wow.
Right up until even before then, they discussed with me the kind of support I'll need. I didn't even know that I'll need note takers. he first mentioned it to me, I was like, I've been typing my notes myself. Why do I need all these things? But they provided that for me.
Wow.
They gave me a mobility trainer, someone who came to my hall of residence in the UK,
Wow.
took me around the area, showed me where various, places of convenience stores, shopping malls, and things like that were, and ascertained if I was able to get there on my own or if I would need help. Even when I needed help getting to certain lectures or to my lectures, there was always someone on hand to take.
But Farid, let me find out. Was it at a cost, at a fee, or for free?
It was part of my
package.
So I went to the UK on a scholarship, but it was part of the fees you pay, whether it's on a scholarship or not.
Oh wow!
Your university fees covers all of that.
Wow.
Yes. So I mean, you have all of this support, and they are always eager. I even had a laptop, a recorder.
Wow.
On loan for the duration of my program.
Wow.
I had IT support, dedicated IT support for any issues. So I would say I've not been to other countries and experienced, but the UK is probably the best place for disability support. That's not to say Ghana cannot get there, but it just takes some decisive leadership and some
political will,
political will, of course, at all levels, because these things are doable. I mean, I could, beyond even the university community, I could just walk into a train station and tell them, for example, I'm in Accra and I'm going to Kumasi. If there are 5 stops along the way or 5 transit points along the way, I would just tell the first point that I'm going to Kumasi. They will do the calling at the other transit points to let them know that I'm coming.
Wow.
So I don't need to do all of those things. I just need to turn up and say I'm going here. So it was, for me, the whole disability support in the UK was absolutely amazing. Once again, I feel that we can get there as Ghanaians. It just takes that extra bit of effort to do that.
Amazing. First of all, H4P is 12 years old.
Yeah.
12 years of doing this job. 12 years of bringing dignity to disability. 12 years of serving humanity. What do you have to say to H4P?
I think I must commend you, Bishop, and commend the entire H4P team, because for me as a person with disability, it's not common to find programs that remain relevant for even beyond a year or two. Talk less of going on for 12 years. That's quite a huge feat. And a program that is designed to give disabled performers or talents the opportunity to exhibit their skills, for me, is always one that I would always support. So I think that what H4P is doing is great.
Thank you.
We call for more support, more sponsorship, more assistance to keep this going, because it can't be easy doing this all these years. And we hope that it can go on for a while, much longer, several decades to come.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now we are there. You are a poet. How did it begin?
So I did literature in secondary school.
Okay.
And at that point, I've always loved the arts. And I always tell people, if not for my sight, I should have become an architect. Because I appreciate, I knew this will come as a bit of a surprise to people, but I love arts, I love designs, building structures. So I think that form, I used to draw when I was even much younger, but it was straining my eyes, so I had to give it up. But I still retain that, that sense. So I think my art kind of evolved into literary arts when I got to secondary school and I did literature. So after secondary school, the intervening period between secondary school and going to the university, I was home, bored, and didn't know what to do with my time. And I said, well, I did this in school. Let me see if I can write my own meaningful literature or poetry. And I gave it a try, and bit by bit, I built my crafts. It wasn't easy. Sometimes you go to places and say, hey, are you sure you can do it? Are you sure you can perform? Are you sure you can go? But it took a bit of a learning process, building myself. And I was happy to say, especially in the University of Ghana, I had the opportunity to really utilize my talents at different levels on different platforms, TV, radio, stage performances. It was great for me.
Wow.
Yeah. So for me, it's an exciting journey. Poetry for me has become a very strong part of my life, and I'm so happy I have that. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, you've heard it yourself. I'll go for a break. When I come back, we'll talk more to the poet. His masters, he did violence, conflict and development.
Yeah.
I want to know why. We'll come back. Stay tuned. It's a Helping Hand TV show.
We'll be right back.
Is the music segment on the Helping Hand TV show.
But grace sustained me. My test is now a testimony. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. I don't.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Helping Hand TV show. It's a new year. H4P is 12 years old. To God be the glory. And I have an amazing gentleman, Farid, with us. He's a poet. That's what we are focusing on for now. Farid, your masters.
Yeah.
Why that choice?
I get that a lot. Yes, so violence, conflict and development. Yes. So in the University of Ghana, I mean, as part of my program, I got introduced to different areas of politics, and I particularly got drawn to international security, which is where my master's falls within. I feel like in this part of the world, we don't really appreciate security that much. And especially for a person with disability, you know, the outbreak of conflict will be hard hitting on persons with disability, especially. But I find that there is a general lack of awareness about security related issues. You know, sometimes how you carry yourself, even as a person with disability, you order a Bolt or an Uber. Are you conscious of some of the security tips? Share your ride. You know, basic things like that. You know, get to me. So, but for me, it was that holistic approach to security I wanted to explore, especially on the international level, looking at how, you know, conflicts come about, how to resolve conflicts. And I did my master's thesis on political vigilantism in Ghana, coincidentally. So I kind of want to explore these issues and see how we can contribute towards, you know, reducing the likelihood, because we don't study these things because we like conflict or we like war, but it's because we want to prevent an outbreak of these security threats. Because like I said, for a person with disability, it becomes very troubling when, you know, some of these instabilities break out. Where do you run to? How do you know you are running towards safety or you are running towards the chaos? So for me, it's very important that we all develop that security consciousness.
I had the privilege, my assistant gave me a video of one of your poetry recitals, and I fell in love with it. How do you get the inspiration to do poetry? Do you write it yourself? Do you have somebody you look up to? How do you do it, Farid?
So the motivation for poetry comes in different forms. Sometimes I read a lot of books. That's one way of getting inspired. I read a whole lot of books. I think in 2022 I averaged almost 100 books.
Oh wow.
But for me it's good to read other people's works. You get inspiration from them. But I also like my poems to make meaning. First of all, to me, it has to be meaningful. I know people say you can write a poem on anything. Yes, that's true. But I like to write poems that have a resonating theme with myself and with my audience. So for me, that's another thing that inspires me. So as I go through life, observe different issues in my community, in society, on the local level, national level, international level, all of these things kind of interrelate in a way that, you know, gives me a lot of inspiration for the work I do.
Let's talk about the future for Farid. Is it going to be the professional social worker? Is it going to be the voiceover artist? Is it going to be the violence, conflict and development person? Is it going to be, what is it going to be? Because you wear many hats.
Sometimes I ask myself that same question. I mean, I guess what I've done is allow myself move into different directions as and when my spirit tells me to. Because I feel that there is a convergence point ultimately, which for me is going into consultancy work eventually at some point. But what I want to do is particularly I want to become a researcher where I try to bring together the elements of art, poetry, and how that can be applied towards, you know, issues of security, national development, social development, and stuff like that. Because sometimes we underestimate how the arts play a role, especially poetry, how it can be used to communicate a message as a literary tool. I mean, I know we are not in those those days where someone writes an article and it becomes a national issue back in the day, in the 80s, 90s, 60s. But I feel that when we bring back a lot of that, we appreciate our world through the lenses of art. It makes things a lot more nuanced and a lot more contextualized for me. So that's where I want to get to eventually. I still want to do more poetry. I want to do more performances, but I also want to do a lot more research on a lot of national issues that confront us, and see how these two worlds can converge.
Okay. Yeah. Now let's do a bit of advocacy. You are creative. You are explorative. You seem to want to get into areas, occupy yourself and all that.
Yeah.
Assuming somebody is watching us, the person has a disability and rather wants to hide, rather wants to keep to themselves, what would you tell the person?
Well, the truth is, it's very easy to give up. And people see us and think that, oh, you are doing this, you are doing poetry, you are doing this, so it must have been easy. No. Sometimes you go through life and it's so easy. Giving up is the easiest option. But what you need to ask yourself is, beyond giving up, then what next? If you refuse to take up that challenge, you refuse to push yourself to the next level, you look at your situation, you say, I don't have money, my parents didn't take me to school, nobody likes me, and then you allow that to define your life, you allow that to define your circumstances. At the end of the day, the world would forget about you. Nobody would care. You would be the biggest loser in all of it. So even though it is tough right now, it's difficult making headway out of the difficult situation. I mean, we have just come out of a very difficult year, and we are very hopeful for this new year. And even though it's not looking up yet, you can only be your biggest motivator. That's all I'll say. Nobody knows you better than you know yourself. So only you can motivate yourself, push yourself beyond that whatever it is that is limiting you or holding you back, and go for it. You don't have to be educated to be successful. You don't
That's
have
very
to,
true.
Yes, you don't have to have all the education in the world or all the wisdom in the world to be successful. Just know yourself. Do an introspection of yourself, know yourself, and move beyond that boundary, that restriction. Because at the end of the day, it's all in our minds. If you get over that mental blockade, you would make it. It's not easy, but you would get there someday.
Quickly, Farid, let me find out from you. You seem to have mastered the art of overcoming discrimination. You seem to have risen above it. What advice would you give to somebody who seems always to be disturbed, discouraged because of discrimination?
Well, the people who discriminate against you, they don't matter because they don't know you. Anyone who discriminates against a person with disability, he or she doesn't know the person with disability. Again, like I keep saying, it's all born out of ignorance. So why would you allow someone's ignorance to limit you? If they knew you, if they knew the quality that is inside of you, they would have no point to discriminate against you. But because they don't know you, they will just say anything that comes to mind. So you can't allow someone who is ignorant about who you are, the true you, to limit your potential. Please, you can't ever do that to yourself. That would be the biggest travesty against humanity. You can't allow someone to kill that dream that you have inside of you. I mean, people will say all kinds of things. Oh, you are blind, you can't go there. You can't do this. Oh, you can't walk, so you can't go there. You can't hear, so you can't reach out for this. But at the end of the day, it's about you. If you allow it to control you, don't allow it. Don't listen. Forget about them and then push harder. Because the end of the tunnel is always in sight, as long as you keep believing. And God ultimately is our ultimate guide. He would always guide us on once we put in the effort.
Thank you so much. We have to put in the effort, and God will be our guide. It's a freestyle segment. H4P, 12 years old. Farid, what do you do for us freestyle?
Okay, so since that poem you liked it so much, I'm just going to do it again.
Great.
The eyes that see, The eyes that see. Do you not see all around you the beautiful ingenuity of God Almighty? Do you not see all around you the brilliance and excellence that characterize our individual existence? Each one of us, uniquely and specially created by the grand creator of all creations. What you can do, I can never dream of. And what I can do remains a mystery to you, just because I cannot see. For just like you, I am human with unique human abilities. And everywhere you go, every human being has challenges. So draw closer and hold my hand. Get to know me and let me know you too. So together, as friends, we can bond under the flame of inclusion. I am not perfect, and neither are you. For who is blind if you cannot see the pain in others? Who is deaf if you cannot hear the cries of your neighbors? And who is crippled if you can't stand to fight societal indifference against persons with disability? Well, you see, no one is exactly perfect. So at least give me the chance to also express and share with the world my God-given talents. I don't need eyes to create my vision. I don't need ears to hear my calling. Neither do I need limbs to chase my dreams. But all I truly need is for you to stop discriminating and see me as your brethren. For the eyes that see are not eyes that merely express sight, but eyes that possess very strong insight. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. You can hear the class in the CD right now. Amazing. When I heard that, I was like, my goodness. Did you write that yourself?
Yeah, I wrote that. This is coincidentally one of the very first poems I wrote for a program I was doing. And yeah. It's personally inspiring to me.
Seriously. I like the line where you say that what you do, what I can do remains a mystery to you.
Yes,
exactly. And what you can do is
I may not know.
Exactly. Yes. So I like that.
We all bring something on board. We are all parts of a grand puzzle. Yeah. When we all fit together, we make a beautiful picture.
Amazing. You talk about how I don't need eyes to create my vision.
Yes.
I don't need ears to hear my calling. I don't need limbs to chase my dreams. Yes. I like that. I like that. Thank you so much for staying tuned in. This has been the Helping Hand TV show. H4P is 12 years old. It's a new year. Thank you for always being with us all these years. Special thanks to DV Limited Company Limited, Fire City Chapel, my proud sponsors. Special thanks to those who contribute to H4P through the mobile money system. Thank you so much. The next 12 years, I believe, will be greater, will be brighter, and disability, especially in Ghana, will rise to where it belongs. Thank you so much. I'll come your way again same time next week. Until then, remember, disability is not inability. Thank you so much, and God richly bless you. Take care.